guys, so basically what I wanted to finish saying really quick is that the people in the park that was near the Pepper Tree Inn hotel where my son and I were homeless. Hold on, because it's so noisy out there. I don't want you guys like he's watching Miss Tasha and Miss Rachel. So, but anyways, I was trying to say before I finished the part when I got to when I was getting to I was saying something about Crystal who worked at Community Action on one of the other video when I titled it "I Run Me." Well, y'all don't run me, I run me. Around 12 minutes and 15 seconds of that video, up to 12 minutes and 30 seconds or 31 seconds. Around that area, I was trying to get to the part to explain how the gang stalkers sometimes have like cell phones. They'll either text or they'll call and let another gang stalker or their handler know where the location is, what I'm doing, if I'm about to leave, what I'm wearing, where am I headed to. They did that at the park when off by what's the name of that street, Lombard Street. And it lead no I think Hawken, like it leads to Hall Boulevard, but there's a park over there by the, and I think there's also a Beaverton Library. Yeah, the Beaverton Library area. I went there with my son and we were just chilling outside because we didn't have nowhere to go. I just needed to relax. You know, I was walking all over and it was really bright and sunny out that day. And then I just saw all these random people, like they kept walking by and looking at us strange, like, what are they doing there? And it was weird because like usually people don't do that. Like it's a sunny day. Of course people gonna be sitting out in the grass. And it was a field of grass and I just sat out there with me and my son and I, and other people was playing with their kids. So I'm like, why are they just looking at us like we ain't supposed to be here? It's like that was part of the gang stalking, like them watching us. And that just reminded me of something else about a gang stalker in the neighborhood where I was living at. That I had a dream of it, and when she got upset because I knew about it, and then they left. Especially when she saw, remembered what their name was, and she looked at me like, "What the hell? Like how you know our name?" I was like, "Our my sisters used to play with y'all daughters, and y'all introduced yourselves to us." But anyways, those people were witches. And they got up out of that neighborhood. Maybe some backfire was starting to happen or something. But and I was starting to wake up. But anyways, I just want to show, that's the part I was trying to get at in that video. It was to let people know that how they gang stalk you if you pay attention, because I had caught that I was so spiritually in tune at the time because of all the things, like I was at the beginning stages of that level of awakening that I was going through. It was crazy and it was scary too. It was really scary. But I just wanted to let you guys know, like sometimes when you see strange people walking by and they act like they're on the phone, but you can feel it that they're paying attention to you, but trying to pretend that they're not paying attention to you. That's because they're talking to someone on the phone to let them know your location, like where you're at and where it looks like you're heading and what you're wearing, if you're in the car, if you're with someone, who you have with you, if they know that individual, and all that kind of stuff. Because I saw the people, it was mostly Mexicans that day doing it, after my son and I left the Pepper Tree and motel. And it was before I headed back to my dad's house after my mom passed away. And I went home and I saw that they had been rummaging through my belongings. And then my dad was like, "Oh, don't worry about that. We was looking for something." But it seemed like they were only focused at looking through stuff, through like my belongings, like my mail, my paperwork, my letters. I was like, what were you guys possibly looking for that was so important in my mail? You know, I wasn't missing. Other times when I was gone away from the house, they didn't care about where I was at. For months, I didn't hear from anyone from the family, even my mom. So don't play that S with me. But yeah, that's all I want to let you guys know is that gang stalkers do contact other people. They'll either text or they'll call. I've seen it happen enough times to know, to be certain that that's what they're doing. And don't be surprised if they send people in to you and let them try to befriend you just so they can get a very close up and personal information about what you got going on in your life, so they can stop and block you. And even harder if they don't get enough information because you keep quiet and you don't really talk to people, or if they don't have any current cameras or monitoring spirits, or maybe they feel like the monitoring spirits aren't giving them the correct information because you're protected and the messages are coming out distorted. So unless somebody astral projects or whatever to your house. But that's a lot of information for people, so I apologize for information overload. But that's the part I was trying to get at, is that before I start talking about Crystal from community action being a witch and not helping us and trying to hurry up and exit us out the program because she kept taunting us with that, like, or if you don't do this, I'm gonna have to exit you out the program. It's like she was excited about that. And then when I called her out on her bullshit, she kind of got mad, and then she would have this kind of fake nice nasty attitude with me. And I was like, wow, these people are pieces of shit. Like, I don't know what happened to the city of Hillsboro, but they've gone downhill. Like, and it's like energetically it felt disgusting. It didn't feel like it used to feel before certain people started moving in that area. When they built up all those houses, when it was less people there, it was already bad enough. There was an interracial couple that the dude was kind of trying to be in competition with other black people, but he already had enough stuff. And then his wife was a witch, I found out later on, and she used to watch every single thing we did. And if we did something, they copied off of us, and then other people in the same on the same road copied. That's why I didn't really want no neighbors. If when I moved to a house and have some land and property, I would have it closed off, because I hate when people. It's like they can't live without you, literally. So, damn, be your own self. Shit, fuck, damn. I'm sorry about that, y'all, because I just think about all the times I like we would do work on the house, and the people couldn't have any individuality. They had to do what you did to feel like they were doing something, because that's how you know the people who's watching you the hardest. All of a sudden, nobody in the neighborhood painted their fence. Soon as we, the only melanated family, full melanated family with no other race ethnicities in the family living in that house, soon as we did it, everybody else started. The first, it was the lady across from us who was watching us all the time, and then the other neighbors across the street. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. And then that's what set the tone for everything else to happen. Like, other people started painting their staining their fits for years. Nobody stained their fits until we did. Then all of a sudden, it started with one house from across us, then the next house. These people will be watching you, bro. So don't be surprised if it turns out that your neighbors that seem to copy off everything you do are actually part of the gang stalkers stalking you, because they actually hate you for your individuality and your originality, your uniqueness, your style, your swag, because they feel like they compare themselves to you, and they feel like nothing. So they feel like unless they're doing what you're doing, then that's when they're doing something. But if they do something, they feel like they don't have that creativity side, so they hate on you because out of jealousy or envy. And it becomes dangerous at times. Like, people will literally start to do stuff that will affect you, so that because they want to see you fall down if it seems like you're doing too well, especially if you're a melanated person living in a majority uh Caucasian European neighborhood. So yeah, that's the part I was trying to get to.